Right, this is the video to try and do this bottle. Try and make it as simple as possible, although it does get complex at the end. And you can see how you go. Just to clarify that this is a hollow bottle, and you can see the internals there, and it's been built using primarily surfacing, which takes a little bit of time to get your head around. And again, this is not complex. It just takes time to do it. This could also be modelled using solids, but we'll see how we get on. Okay, right, let's just take that one off. Sorry, I want to take that off there. So how do we do this? Right, I'm going to start a new drawing. So just to demonstrate this, if I go to File, New, Part, and OK. So we can keep going back to this one to get sizes and stuff. So as with everything, go to Sketch, Sketch, and I'm going to do this on the top plane. So I'm actually looking down on this, and the first thing I want to do is put a centre line in. So around that origin, so from there to about there, and it should lock into that point there, which it has. And I'm going to put one up from about there to there. Now I know what the distance right across is, it's 115, so I'm just going to put a smart dimension in for that line. Okay, and put 115. Okay, and this one here is 60 across, so I'm going to make this one 30. Not far off at all. Now what I need to do is select that little dot there, hold the control key down, select the centre, not the centre dot, come off that one. So we'll start again. That one there, centre line, and that end one, and then let's make those a symmetric condition. You see that move in. I don't need to worry about that one because of the other side. So what I'm going to do now is go to my arc tool. I'm still in the sketch tool. I'm going to go to my arc tool. I'm just going to roughly do an arc from there to there and about there, and I'm going to do one from about there to over there and down to about there. So I'm going to make this one here, hold the shift key down and make those vertical together. They should be in line, and I'm going to bring that in and snap it to that point there. So it's on there. I should actually make these symmetrical. Control key, do that, and there we got symmetrical there. And then I want to bring this one in a little bit there. Let's bring this right down to here. Do that. Let's make that. Oh no, Control Z. Let's just bring this down here for a sec. That might help a little bit. Let's see if I can bring this down to about there. And let's see if I can snap this one in too. Yes, I can. Do that one there. By coincidence. There we go. I'll bring this down a bit more. Right. I'm going to do that one and that one. I'm going to make those horizontal. It's changed everything. Let's see if I can get out of this. Let's just pull that back a bit so it goes back to about there. That's perfect. And I'm going to mirror, or what I should do is make those symmetrical as well. That one, hold that there and there, make those two symmetric. Okay, we're now getting somewhere. And then I'm going to mirror, and notice I haven't put any dimensions on quite yet. I'm going to mirror that entity about there. Perfect. So just get that tick, and I'm going to do exactly the same again for the other aspect. So mirror entities. So I'm going to select that one there and do this one here. Sorry, no, I've done that wrong. Take that one out and put that one in there. So I now have the bases of my bottle, but there are no dimensions strictly on there, so let's do that. So smart dimension, and this is a radius for this curve. Now that says 57. It should be a 112 radius. So let's just see what happens here. It might have clicked on, so let's just try and change that to 112. Okay, that really does throw everything out. And let's bring this one in. See if I can put it down. No, I've done something really drastic there. So it's Control Z that. This is what it's about, it's trying to get yourself out of problems. I think it's because that has done itself in, so let's just do that first. Let's do this top one first. Smart dimensions, that one there. That's better. And let's do that one at 300. Okay. All I need to do is now try and bring this in a little bit. So we've got a tiny curve. And let's go smart dimension again. Let's do that one. That's better. And do 112. There we go. Far better. So I now have that. And I need to do fillets on this side. So let's do those at 10mm. So let's go to my fillet tool, which is there on the sketch, 10mm. That looks about right. Go around, do all these. And now I have the bases of the actual base of the bottle. If I just do that up there for that. Now what we need to do now, if I bring back on the planes, I don't need to actually do the planes on that. Let me just agree to this. So up there. So I now have that sketch. Now I want to do another sketch further up. So if I go to this time, go to features, go to reference geometry, go to plane, and this time I want it 120 off this plane here. So I need my reference geometry. Now rather than go up and switch my planes on, I'm going to do it from here. So if I just hover over the front plane, I don't want that one. I go to top plane, which I do, and just show you the recent, the right plane. Go to top plane, and you see default was 10. I want that to be 120. Okay, let's give that a green tick. And while we're here, I might as well do the next one as well. Put my planes in. I'll put another plane in, so just go to features. This is for the top of the bottle. Plane, and this one is not off that one. I'll do it from the base again, from top plane. Okay, and this time that should be 210. I could have done the maths, but I'm just a little bit lazy in that way. So just give that green tick. So I've now got two planes that I want to put sketches onto. And it will come clear as to why in a second. So with this one here, I want to replicate that sketch onto there. So all I need to do is go to sketch, and I want this time to select plane 1 and go to convert entities, and then just select the previous sketch. Now I can either do that by clicking on it, or I just go to sketch 1. Which it didn't like actually, forget that, just select the entities, that's it, that's fine. Convert entities, and you'll notice I now have a copy of that sketch in plane 1. Now, next sketch I want to do, so I just come out of this, is actually put the lid of or the top of the bottle up here. So I'm going to this time go to sketch again. Okay. It's automatically selected my previous one. I don't want to do that. Just go to exit sketch, and what I'm going to do is just click on that plane, go to sketch, which it should do, and I want to draw a circle, and if it lets me, I want to do it on that line because that's my center line, about there, and I know that this circle is 45mm in diameter. There we go, and I will come in and I need to make sorry I'm going to cough. I need to get that point from there to there, so I put in a dimension from there to there, and because I don't know that, I'll show you the other way you can correct this. And just agree to that for a minute. If I use a control key and the tab bar, it goes to my previous drawings. So what I can do is actually now go into that sketch I had before. To do this, to go back in time, if I just right hand click over surface plane, it's not going to do it for me, is it? Okay, do it again, and I'm going to this roll back arrow, and you'll notice it's gone back to what we are actually creating now. So this is what we're creating by doing these sketches. So what I'm looking for is that top sketch on there. So that's that one there. I just clicked on it. It tells me there, and it's 15 from the center. To make sure I know that, I just go into edit sketch, and you can see the dimension there is 15 mil from that center mark there. So if I go to control and tab again, I can go back to my previous drawing. There we are. I've got 35 there. I'm just going to delete that and go back in and do the same again. So from there to there, that's 29, and actually want 15. And I've got to double check that actually. I think I'm right. I may have got something else wrong here, but this is why I'm doing it. So I'm just going to go Control Tab. Just about. That's one thing in SolidWorks, you can't have two drawings open at the same time, which is a bit of a shame. If I just come back into that, I'll actually see everything. So yes, I am right. Actually, yeah, that's interesting. I've got center on there when it should actually be that center there. We'll see what happens, but it at the moment is correct. From there, part of the reason why this is a bit off, if you go onto this here, it's because I'm in perspective. That's why. Let me just come out of that a second. If I go into that there, take perspective off. Okay, and go back to sketch 2. Let's go to edit sketch, and there you can see that's actually spot on from that, and I'm over that aspect for it, so you can see relatively where we are. While I'm here, I'm actually just going to check that I've actually got those fillets right. So if I go into that's 112, let's go into that sketch there, which is the first one, edit sketch, and there we go, I've got 10 mil, so that's perfect. Okay, let's go back to the main sketch and then show you how to to loft these parts. So what I want to do now, I'll just leave it there, I want to take a skin from that profile to that profile to that profile. I'll show you that now, but there's something else I actually need to do before I do that. If I do this, if I go up here, if you don't have surfaces highlighted, just right hand click in here, go to tabs and make sure surfaces is ticked on there, and it will appear here. So I'm just going to go to surfaces. Now just to show you loft, go loft surfaces, and it's asking me, it's got sketch 2, then I can do this either direction. I'm just going to clear that selection, and I'm actually going to click that bottom one there, and I'm going to do that one there, and you can see it's starting to put a skin on top of there, but it's a bit of a squashed up bottle. If I just tick that, you can see that it's not quite conformed to what I'm after. There's sort of areas in here. Now you can put things like zebra stripes on and contour stripes just to see what's what. Now, although it doesn't look too bad, it just is not. It's just not right. So what I need to do before I loft that, I need to put some constraint curves in it as well. Now, if we go back to my other drawing, if I just go to Control Tab, okay, what you'll see is on here I have two other sketches. I have that sketch there, and if you note the dimensions from that, that is a 160 with a radius of 80, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. And if I go to my second curve, oh, and the other one, if you see this curve, let me just go in. I've done curving to that. If I go to edit sketch, you'll see it a little bit more clearly. I have a one of 120 and a line going up, and I'll show you that in a second. It's a little bit by eye for this, but it will come clear. If you want to know the dimension of that, I can go to my little tape measure, just click on that one, and it tells me a length of 149.34. The reason it's a little bit odd is because I've got a tangential relationship with it there and to there for this. It's not 120, it's 102 for it in there. So let's just come out of that. Okay, I'm going to go Control, Tab, I'm going to go back to my drawing we're doing at the moment. I'm going to pull that up to there. So I'm not going to pull that up to there. I'm actually going to delete that surface loft. It's easier to do that than try and sort other things out. So I'm going to go to Sketch, and I'm going to pick another plane to do these side sketches in. Let's go to that plane there. Okay, and I'm going to just roughly sketch from about there to about there, and then I'm going to press the A button on the keyboard, because that allows me then to do that. And I'll do that again in a second. So I'm just going to leave that. This is just roughly on that. And I'm going to do the same again the other side. So I'm going to do a sketch from about there to, actually, this is slightly different. Do to about there. I'm then going to do actually up to about there, because that there I did something slightly different with. So let's just sort this side out first. So with that one, click on it, hold the Control key down, and press the line, not the point. Press the line, let go, and what you want to look for is not make coincidence, because it won't actually go to it. You want to use the Pierce command. So you've got Pierce command there. You see that jump in, and it's absolutely on the line for it. And I'm going to do the same at the top. So just get that green tick. I'm going to go on from there, hold the Control key down, go to the circle, and go to the Pierce command. So I now have a line there. I'm going to put a smart dimension on that there of 120. Okay, you saw that move down. And I'm also going to put a constraint on there, horizontal, for it. So we are now done automatically on that one. Now this one, I am going to just flip back to that sketch again and see what I did on the other side. So if I can just Control Tab on that one there, and where were we? It was that sketch there. So I've actually got a fillet of 80, then a straight line. If I just go back into that, you'll see that. So I've got a straight line there, and I have a fillet there of 80 degrees, a radius of 80. I nearly said degrees there, and a centre point up there, 160 for it. So that line. So if I go back, okay, so I want to replicate that. So before I do anything, I'm going to go onto that point there. I'm going to go to Control and hold the circle, and I'm going to pierce that relationship. And I'm going to do the same down the bottom here. I just clicked away to confirm it. Control onto that one there, and then do that there. So I've got a pierced relationship for it there. And to put some dimensions in, I'm going to do that one. There we go, at 160. And there we go up. And then I'm going to go to my fillet tool on the sketch fillet tool, and I think it was 80. Put that in there, and then select that one there and this one here, and it's giving me that there. Now what I should do, if you notice, I need to make that horizontal. So let's just click on it, make it horizontal, and you can see it's now come into that point there. Now I could, let's just see if this will work. Hold the control key down on there, and no, there's no relationship needed because it's actually in line as well. So I've done that one. I now need to do the sides one, but I need to put an additional plane in, and I need to do it so it goes through that centre, so we actually get some nice sides going. Now you could put other guidelines in, you'll see, or as many as you like, to try and get it accurate, but for the moment we just need 4 guidelines. So come out of that sketch for a second, going to go to features, going to go to reference geometry, going to go to plane, and this time I'm going to click that centre circle. Actually, I'm going to bring my planes up. Oh no, I don't need to. Let's go to, I want to come off that plane, but I don't really want to select that first. I'll show you why, because if I select that first, it does that, and if I then go to the point I want it to be doing, oh, it's done it. Okay, just be careful, sometimes these can be a bit funny. You normally have to select the point first, then the plane, but it seems to have worked this time. So this is the plane I actually want to draw in. So there we go again. So again, I'm going to do a sketch. Sorry, I've just done that, and I'm going to draw a line up. Again, this is going to be rough. So I'm going to go from there up to about there, and again I'm going to press the A key, and I'm just going to put something in about there. Now because these are going to be symmetrical, I only need to do it once, but I've forgotten also what the sketch is. So if I go Control Tab and go to the side, so I need to come out of that one. This is the original drawing, by the way, just to make sure, and I need to go to the last one there, just go to Edit Sketch, and it's 34 degrees. Let's see if we can do that. That looks about right. Okay, let's just go Control Tab, go back to the drawing we're doing now. So this is the drawing. So let's put a radius in for that at the moment. Let's just put in 34. Okay, that's better. And let's get this Pierce relationship going. So if I do that 1 point and then onto the line on there, and let's do Pierce relationship, perfect. And then I'm going to pull this one up, and you notice it goes with me, and because I've got that still selected, I can do this, Control Tab and Pierce relationship, so we can see. Now that doesn't look quite right, so but I'm sure it is right if I've got the right dimensions that I talked about. If I'm sure, I'm just going to check again. Control Tab. Yeah, it is fine. It looks all right. I'll click that one. Go into what we're doing at the moment, and what I'm going to do is mirror that one over to the other side. So go to Mirror Entities, Entities to Mirror. I want that and that. Okay, mirror about. Now I can use the plane, which is the front plane. No, I can't use the front plane. It doesn't use like that. Yes, it does now. Okay, we've got it. Go across. Okay, so I now have a sort of a skeleton for the bottom I want to do. I'm going to switch off those, come out of that, and I'm going to hide those 2 planes. Now, as I said before, sorry, it was a late night. I'm going to just click in on these, and I'm just going to hide those. I just hide those planes. I don't actually want to see those, and I'm going to hide plane 3 as well. And then, so you actually got the bare bones of the sketch. So let's put some skin on this. So let's go to our surface button, and it's already greyed out stuff that I can't use, and it's just highlighted stuff I can use. So for this one, what I want to do is go to Loft Surfaces. Loft is a really good one, and it's an old term from boat building, where you actually put sections in and then you put strips of wood across and it's called lofting. Exactly the same principles. So click on the loft, and it's going to ask me for the profiles that I want to loft between. So I'm going to click the bottom profile, and you notice it's all gone blue. Happy with that. I'm going to do that second profile. This is as we did before, and I'm going to do that profile there. Now if you look carefully, you can see that it hasn't actually conformed to the guide curves. So I need to add those guide curves in. So I'm going to go from the blue box to the pink box, click on the pink box, and I'm just going to click that there. And it comes up this little box, and it's got a little squiggly line. It's not a loop, so I'm just going to go to green. And you see it automatically pulled in, and it's actually made a really funky shape there. That could be a laundry liquid wash bottle. That'd be really quite nice to do, but I don't want that. So I'm just going to click on that second one, give it a green tick, and you see it's pulled it in. Wish I could do that with my stomach, but there we go. And you notice I now want to do the side bits as well. So I'm just going to click on that top one. Okay, give it green, and I'm just going to do the last one, and just see it happens, and that's fine. So I'm just having a quick look, and you still have got the sort of kind of zebra stripes on there. These show the sort of light deflections, like if you're in a light room, but I'm actually quite happy with that. I don't mind that little bulge out there compared to the back, but as I said, you can actually put other profiles in to actually get that a little bit tighter. But this is actually an oil bottle, so I'm happy with that at all. So I'm just going to go and give that a green tick, and you can now see I have the shape that I want to play with. Also notice up here you now have a surface bodies, not a solid bodies file, a surface bodies on that. Now don't forget to save, which I will do here. File save. I have to do a save as on here. Let's do this one as bottle demo. Demo. Okay, that's that. So we've got our skin. Now before we actually stop for a little break on this one, I'm just going to put a bottom on this, and I'm still in my surface menu. So I can use either a planar surface, which will come up, or I could look at the boundary surface. The easiest one is a planar surface. So just click on planar surface, and it's looking for that boundary entities, which is what this is because it's plane. I'm going to click on it, and you can see automatically it's actually filled in. So just give that a green tick. So I now have a bottom surface there, and we need to do something with the top, but we've got to do something slightly different there on that. So I'm going to actually do another sketch first. So if I now go to sketch, and I'm going to do this in the front plane, and I'm going to do this again, just a rough sketch. This is the neck of the bottle. So just going to go down here and along there. Okay, and again what I'm going to do is click on there, hold the control key down, do that there, and I'm going to use the pierce command. So that's dropped me down there. Now I know that there should be 5mm. Okay, that goes in, and I've got this. Good thing about SolidWorks, we can go back and change this. I've got that at 22. You'll see why. Now that looks quite high. Trust me, it's correct for what we're doing. And I'm going to go back to surfaces, and this time, even though I'm still in the sketch, actually before I do that sketch I need to put a centre line in. So I'm going to put a centre line in roughly about there, straight up, and I need just to make sure I get it in centre. So I'm just going to click on there and hold the shift key down, let go, and then make that midpoint, and it drops down. So back into surfaces, I'm going to go revolve surface. Okay, it knows what I'm working on, so it's already done it, and give that a green tick. So I now have the skin of my bottle. Now there's something else we need to do also, which is a little bit more complex, but I'll do that in the next video, is actually put a little detent in here as well before we actually thicken that surface. But what we need to do, if you wanted to keep that as is, before I put any fillets on, I'll do it just to demonstrate of that. And I'm going to go into perspective because it always looks better in perspective, it looks more real. I'm going to go up to knit surface, okay, and I'm just going to select all of this, okay, up top. I thought I could pull a window over, and also the bottom bit. I don't know if that's done it. No, I need to add that back in. 3, that one there. I want to merge entities, and okay, so all this is doing is just knitting that surface together. And you notice now I've actually got, well, I didn't show you before. If I just come back up a second, if I go back in that, I've got 3 surface bodies. When I knit it, it knits it into one. So it's still not a solid body. It's still a surface, but we'll go into that. And what I can do now is go to the surfaces, go to the fillet tool, and I could put a 10mm fillet on the bottom there. You can see that if I put full preview in, that's what I would get. I actually want that to be 8mm, so let's change that to 8. And the top one, I'll put in 8 at the moment. I can try, actually, let's come out of this. Let's just put another fillet in. Where's my fillet tool? There we go. Again, it says fillet tool. Let's put this down at 4, so smaller fillet. You'll understand why later on when we get there. So now I've got a nice shaped bottle on there. I've got no depth to it. If I go to the section tool, okay, you'll see that it's just paper thin. There's no body to that whatsoever for it. Okay, I'll give you some thickness just to tease you a little bit. Just come out of that. If I go to thicken, it says thicken parameters. Go to that there. Now you'll notice default's 10, so it's actually gone very small in there. I only want this at a 2mm, and if I just give that a green tick, okay, you can see I now have a thick bottle, and I've now lost my surfaces folder, and it's now gone to a solid bodies folder. So in the next video we'll backtrack a little bit because I want to put a space in here, and we actually want to put some threads in here later on, and we want to draw the cap as well. But that is the basics of the bottom. If you get that far, I'll be more than happy. And if you want to continue with the other videos, then I'll demonstrate how to put the other bits and pieces on there for now. Excellent. All right, we'll see you in the next one.